Daddies, them say we don't know how to marry. We just the worry. Daddies, them say all we do is to run away from the babies. Daddies, every day we do this and that. Them say we no be responsible. No be everybody day like that. It just be funny cause if man no day, if puppy no day, then waiting we gain. If man no day, if man no day, how we go assist? Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man where they fight for their responsibility. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man where they do everything for the family. Who say man no day? So who say man no day? See, if man no day, if puppy no day, then wait till we day. If man no day, if man no day, me day you no go day. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man where they fight for their responsibility. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man where they do everything for the family.
To be a man, oh, wow. Yeah, Papa, no more way to my dream. And the share so put food on the table, paying the bills and all that. I mean, sure, one more grand and someone and I'm refugee, and you're fine.
Daddies.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much. Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Happy Father's Day to everyone that is watching. If you are here, invite your friends as quickly as possible. Let them come here and let's celebrate this day. We hardly have this. We hardly celebrate Father's Day. Fathers have recently just realized that there was a day set aside for them, because there's been a lot of cry, a lot of noise out there about Mother's Day being celebrated, Women's Day. There's a lot being celebrated about Women's Day. What about fathers? What about the men? Here we are today, 19th of June, and we are celebrating Father's Day. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another special edition of Let's Give the Voice here at the Voice of Hope Media with your host, A.C. Mbeng. So I'm here today as your host during this special edition of Father's Day to honor and to celebrate fatherhood and paternal bonds. Father's Day is a very, very special day. It's a day for us to honor and to acknowledge the men in our lives who play that role of a father. The question now is, are they only supposed to be biological? Are you only supposed to be a biological father to be a father to be celebrated today? Is it only about gender? Lots of questions have been asked over the past few weeks on social media. But the most important thing is to be able to acknowledge, to appreciate, and honor the father in your life, paternal bonds, and anyone that has played that role of a father in your life, either now, in the past, or maybe in the future. A day has been set aside for this to happen. In some countries like the UK, the US, and Canada, they celebrate this day on the third Sunday of June every year. And this year, it happens to fall on the 19th of June. So here at the Voice of Hope Media, we decided to have a special day with some special fathers around the world for us to be able to acknowledge them, to honor them, and to celebrate them virtually. Who knows, someday we may be able to celebrate them face to face. Who knows? So I'm AC, I'm your host, and welcome to this special edition here, the Voice of Hope Media. So you are watching live on Facebook, and also live on our YouTube channel. Share, invite your friends, let them come in with their comments, with their questions. Let's watch together, let's learn. Because I know here at the Voice of Hope Media, I always say, once you've watched an episode here, you learn, you unlearn, you relearn. Today is one of those opportunities. What do we do here at the Voice of Hope Media? We give a voice to those difficult conversations, those difficult topics that oftentimes people regard them as too emotional, too sensitive, or topics which are still regarded as taboo topics. So we give a voice to these issues in order to open up conversations. The Voice of Hope Media is a safe space where we open up these conversations. We help others to give a voice to these issues for them to be able to heal. So we educate, we empower, we inspire, and we give hope to individuals facing challenging and complex life issues, including special educational needs. So you are welcome once more. While we are here today, we are supposed to be five of us. We have four dads here on the studio. They are still on their way. We have Cham from Macomb. We have Eric Moore, who is already here. And thank you, Eric, for being here
You're
on
welcome.
time. We have Harry Fon, who is still doing part of his Father's Day celebrations, and he'll be here with us in about 10 minutes or so. We also have Dr. Ate, who is also on his way. So, what questions have you got for us today? What do you have to say about fatherhood? How are you celebrating the day? How are they, your kids, your children, how are they celebrating the day for you? Are you appreciative? Are you happy? We have to find out. You have to tell us because we cannot know unless you tell us. But this Father's Day is a special day set aside for children to be able to appreciate, honor, and celebrate the fathers, their fathers, and those who play a father role in their lives. There are also some controversies here and there on social media on some genders claiming to be a father because they are single. I'm not here to judge. We are not here to judge anyone because people have different ways of seeing things. People have different ways of reasoning out issues. So we are not here to judge. We appreciate and we respect your opinion. So thank you once more. So before while we are waiting for the rest, um, Eric, do you have anything to say before we just play a little bit of music and then we we continue?
Just to thank you for the opportunity, and I'm very happy to be here and looking forward to a brilliant discussion. Thank you
Thank you.
very much.
You're welcome. Hi, Harry. Hi.
Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm having to do this from the car. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the intro. I hope you don't mind the car.
You don't mind as long as you have a good connection. So thank you for making that sacrifice to be here with us. We appreciate you for that. So while you're getting ready, we just play a little bit of music again. And again, Facebook, we do not have rights to any music that's played here. So we hope you don't block or you don't mute our video. We do not have rights to the song that's played here. It's just for entertainment purposes because today is Father's Day and they also have to celebrate.
Daddies, them say we don't know how to marry, we just they worry. Daddies, them say all we do is to run away from the babies. Daddies, every day we do this and that. Them say we no be responsible, no be everybody there like that. It just be funny cause if man no day, if puppy no day, then waiting we gain. If man no day, if man no day, how we go exist? Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man where they fight for their responsibility. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man where they do everything for the family. Yeah. Who say man no day? So who say man no day? See, if man no day, if puppy no day, then wait till we gain. If man no day, me then you no go day. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man where they fight for their responsibility. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man where they do everything for the family. Hallelujah.
To be a man, Now wow. Yen papa no one way you my ding. And the shay and so to put food on the table, paying the bills and all that. I mean sure one with granny so when you're not refugee, then you're fine.
That's a beautiful one there. That song seems to be saying a lot to the men, and they are all smiles now when they listen to that song. I know Eric is smiling, and obviously Harry is just like, yeah, I've always said it. I've always said it. So, guys, how are you celebrating the day, Harry? Have you finished your celebration?
No, I cannot finish the celebration. It's the entire month for me. The entire month of June is it's the Father's celebration, and you having me. Like I said, it's a big day, so I'm jumping into things. But I really want to be part of the show. Thank you for having me. And they actually model. Man, I don't know anything that I don't do that is not something I've copied from my father. And I get that as a man now, when I copy of your father, and I guess I got what I actually wanted growing up as a little boy, you know. So a day like this means a whole lot because I celebrate the man I wanted to become, because I have become that man. But also, I have also become a father, but I cannot celebrate myself as a father because that would be arrogance of me. My kids have to be able to celebrate whatever it is I represent for them, which is just love, because I love my kids abundantly. And it's not because I provide or I'm in their life or I do anything and I do it. That's just because I'm a man. It's not because I'm a father, because if I did not have kids and I had a partner with me, I would still do those very things. So for me, the essence of a father is love. It's not whether you provide or you don't provide. It's just the love that you offer your kids, right? And that's the essence of being a father. The role of a man is to protect and to provide. I think we keep conflicting what a man should do and what a father should do. And we have all of those people out there talking about, oh, fathers should do this. That's a man's job. And it just so happens that a man is also a father. So we do both of those things together. But as a father, you're supposed to provide love to the next generation, or the generation that you have created. So that's, for me, this day represents that love that my father offered me, that I saw in him a role model, and the love that I offer my kids.
That's absolutely amazing. The essence of being a father is to love is for the father to love his children. But I do think that this love entails what you just said a man is supposed to do: provide and support. Did you say that?
Yes.
So it's difficult if being a father without being a man. Is that what you're saying directly?
Hey,
So
you can love and not have the ability to provide and protect. That does not make you any less of a father.
okay.
Right?
Mhm.
I know fathers who are incarcerated. They cannot protect and provide. but they love. They send letters to their kids. They reach out, and that's what makes you a father. It's not because you provide and protect. I know fathers who are medically unable to provide and protect, but they cry. They cannot even communicate because medically they cannot talk. But when the child visits them, they cry. They're not able to be there to love you, but they love you. Are they less of a father? So we cannot only sum a father to those people who are able, those of us who are able to do what a man is supposed to do, right? That's why to be a father, you have to be a man first, because that's, as a man, you have to, like I said, there are men who are not fathers. There are men who are married who don't have kids, right? And they provide and protect. Should we then say they are fathers?
That's a big question. Eric, what's your take? We are just randomly talking now. Then before we go back to our introduction, we still have two more people to join us, guys.
Yeah.
So invite your friends to join in. I don't understand this. We are celebrating Father's Day, and you guys are not joining in to celebrate this day. So what else do you want from us? They should join in. This is an opportunity for you guys to celebrate your day. Maybe you are celebrating in your own special way. So anyway, Eric, over to you.
Thank you very much for this wonderful discussion. Um, thank you very much, my brother. I think I think we have just come to the end of this discussion, because there's no better way to put it as what we have just heard, because it's very hard to explain to someone who a father is, and that's why you see there's a lot of confusion on social media of ladies putting themselves as father, and or friends putting other ladies on social media as their as father, because maybe they were providing for them, supporting them, loving them, playing the role of a man. So that was just hitting the nail at that spot, and that's why I thought that was a brilliant contribution. And I think we'll go very far with this discussion today, because it is that area where it is hardly talked about.
Yeah.
We know everything about Mother's Day. We know everything about the celebrations. We always support the women celebrate that day. But I don't know. Have you checked from status and see how many ladies have posted their husbands, their father to the kids? It doesn't portray. They don't show it that way. Just give me a minute. Let me.
Okay. Yeah, that's a brilliant question. How many ladies do have their husbands or their children's dad on their status celebrating them? Well, I have mine, and we celebrated ours earlier.
I
So
would I would say this, right, to that particular point.
mm-hmm,
I would I would rather um, women celebrate their fathers, right?
mm-hmm,
And somewhere along the line, you could make a mention, because our kids are still young. Your kids and my kids are young. They
mm-hmm,
don't really have a Facebook page to
mm-hmm,
celebrate their fathers. It's their responsibility to celebrate their father. It's not your responsibility to celebrate your husband,
mm-hmm.
right? You are supposed to talk about your own father, because you do have a father, right?
Absolutely.
If he is in alive or not alive, everybody, the majority of people came from a father, right? So
Mm-hmm,
this day was created by a woman who wanted to celebrate her father, and she
mm-hmm,
felt like there was no day to commemorate and talk about her father. So
mm-hmm,
the only path that I would give women to celebrate men, or the men they're married to, is because the kids are too young to be able to post about their fathers, right? The kids don't have a WhatsApp status. The kids don't have a Facebook page.
mm-hmm,
The kids don't have a place where they can go and say, "This is my father, and I'm so proud of my father," because that is what they are supposed to do.
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we put the pressure on women to celebrate their husbands, then we are saying that they should not celebrate their fathers. Primo, and most importantly, it should be the picture of your father. If every woman celebrated her father, women will not celebrate themselves.
Okay. You have to explain that a little bit more. If women celebrated their fathers, they would have to celebrate themselves. We'll have to come back to that. I also agree with you that children should be able to celebrate their fathers. However, and as you've also mentioned, when you have young kids who do not have the opportunity to celebrate their dads or their fathers on social media, on the WhatsApp, then the moms now can assist them, which I strongly believe in that. As for me, my kids are still quite young, so I am helping them to celebrate their dads, because if I don't do that, they will not know. Usually they come back from school maybe with cards made at school during arts, with special gifts from school for their fathers. But as a mother, I also do think it's your place now to encourage your children, to let them know it celebrating Father's Day on the third Sunday of June every year does not mean that we should we should wait all year round and celebrate them on that single day. It's something that has to be ongoing. But we give thanks to that lady who created this day, because it's a special day for us to remind ourselves that we have fathers that we have to celebrate, we have to honor, and also appreciate on this special day. And how will your children know how to celebrate or to appreciate or acknowledge their dads if their moms do not start when they are still children? So my belief is, while your kids are still young, encourage them, show them what to do, tell them that there's a special day like this one for you to be able to acknowledge your father in a special way, to do so. Then when they are adults, they take over, and then when they do so, I will continue celebrating my dad, because my dad is still there. I will always celebrate my dad, whether he's still here on earth or he's gone beyond. Like I did today, I celebrated. There was a post going on about blue hearts for dads who have gone ahead of us, whom which I celebrated as well, because my father-in-law played a very special role in my life for the first 1 year when I got married. So he's played that father role in my life. So I always see it as an opportunity to celebrate and appreciate him as well. So today also is an opportunity for me to appreciate him, even though he's no longer with us, but it was worth doing. And then secondly, I celebrated my dad, my old man. He's going to 93 and he's still there, he's still strong. Is that not something for all of us to celebrate and appreciate? And I also wrote a Facebook message, is that when you post on Facebook, on social media, about happy Father's Day, remember, if you're not there with them, remember to call them and wish them a special day as well. If you're financially fit, treat them as well. Do whatever you can do to appreciate, to honor them. So, on that note, we are going to welcome Dr. Ate, who has just joined us. We've just casually started the conversation because the conversation is so hot, so we didn't even have time to introduce ourselves. So, maybe, Doctor, you are going to start now by introducing yourself, then we continue. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you, Ms. Mbeng. Thank you, Mr. Eric and Mr. Trey. I'm sorry for joining in late. I initially thought it was at 11 o'clock. Then I had promised my father here that I would come say Happy Father's Day. And the time was running out, so I had to rush to go say Happy Father's Day to him. At least a couple of people know me. My name is Eugene Ate, a veterinary doctor. And I have just recently been appointed as the Vice President of the Ministry of Health by the SDF shadow government. So it's something I will celebrate today. I know Trek Atos will have that, but that yeah. So fatherhood, I don't know the opening of my brothers and sisters, but I have a concern with the concept of a Father's Day and the concept of a Mother's Day. Why? Because there are certain schools districts where people are advised to send gifts and cards to their kids greeted in school, and some of these cards are not sent enough because there are some kids who don't have known fathers or known mothers. So I'm of the opinion that Father's Day and Mother's Day should be combined to be a Parents' Day or a Family Day, so that every kid in school will be able to celebrate the concept of a happy family or a happy Parents' Day. I see Trekatos is shaking his head vigorously. He might want to disagree with that, but I would like to live in a world where things evolve based on current trends in life. So let me stop there, and then probably I get some feedback.
Thank you so much, Doctor. And we do appreciate you for joining in today. And happy Father's Day once more. Yeah, I think you saying that Father's Day, days like this should be celebrated as Parents' Day. Hmm.
Or
Yeah,
family.
or Family Day.
Yeah,
Because a family means unity, isn't it?
it's
So,
exactly.
so once we keep celebrating Mother's Day separately, Father's Day separately, there's this unity in the family. I'll leave it there and we continue. But somebody has just written a message who he's happens to be the father of my goddaughter. So let me show him off today as well. Happy Father's Day, Papa. So he says there are no fathers without mothers. So celebrating fathers is celebrating mothers even more. Hey, happy Father's Day to all the moms. And he's spoken.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What have you got to say, guys? Eric.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for the opportunity again. Dr. Eugene, it's good to be with you.
Thank you.
I've been longing to have a discussion with you, and I think this is one of the times when we are meeting and sharing. Um, Looking at Father's Day, because I'm very passionate with people with learning disability and autism. And when it comes to Father's Day celebration and stuff like that, I'm thinking of the fathers of those children. And I really want to hats off to all of them because they are doing a wonderful job. I've been in social media for a while, for a very long time, but I mostly see them celebrating women or mothers who are taking care of those young people. And it's rare to see the fathers being celebrated. I just think today is an opportunity for me to say thank you for being a father to those kids and thank you for supporting them and keep supporting them. I know you are doing a wonderful job. I know that. And you know I'm talking from my heart because I believe that what you're doing, no other father can do it, just you. Yes, discussing about fatherhood, Father's Day celebration. I know we have, as we have been discussing, we have different schools of thoughts. Yeah, it's very different. But what I feel about me as a father, I think is quite unique. And the feeling I have as a father is just what a father is. A father is not really a man. A father is a father. And if you can differentiate that, you understand what I'm talking about. So, and by the way, it doesn't mean a father is a woman. So don't get me wrong, because if somebody jumps and says, oh, yes, it means those ladies who, single mothers, happy Father's Day. It's a sarcasm. Don't take that. It's not positive. A father is a father. And I think it is very clear. So I'm lucky today. It's not like in the past years. I don't know what happened today. It's not as much as other years where a day like today they are celebrating just single mothers on social media as father. And today I've not seen that quite a lot. So I think something must have happened last night and mentalities must have changed. So I just want to appreciate the fathers and to say, today is your day. It's very good to celebrate. Celebrate with your family, celebrate with your friends, I just want to just add a little bit before Clarice cut me short. That for the idea of not of seeing it as a family is really a brilliant one. But if we mistakenly take that course, that family celebration will be the celebration of a woman. We have to celebrate the father. It's our day. Let's celebrate it and let's have fun. I get the joy of my kids coming back from school, bringing cards, pictures drawn, saying Happy Father's Day. Thank you so much for being an amazing dad. I asked my daughters, uh, who is your superhero? I wanted to draw a superhero. They draw me. That picture, it sticks. You cannot change it. So I really want to represent the fatherhood of my family. And that is why a day like today, I don't share it with anyone. It's my day. So happy Father's Day to me. Thank you so much.
Happy Father's Day to you, Eric, once more. And let's see how this conversation goes. So, thank you so much, everyone, for still watching, for still joining in, and those who are still thinking, should I join? Should I not join? Because I am maybe afraid of what is going to be discussed there, because maybe people are contemplating whether they should celebrate a woman as a father or not. But the point is, a father came out of a woman. Simple. Harry, back to you and this comment.
All right. A few things have been said, but one of the most important things that has just been said um, was what the brother just said. I don't share this day with any other person. It's unique for every man who is a father, right? It's probably unique for my dad. It's unique for me, and it's unique for every other man out there. So for me, that's a touching moment right there. That's why we don't share, and I aggressively do not share this day. And he also said we have seen a decline in single women claiming to be fathers, and that's a good thing, right? Because we need to have this conversation to understand that we don't need to fight with each other. We need to be able to bring men back into the fold. We need to be able to understand why men are not stepping up to be fathers. We don't need to create a polarizing environment or a toxic environment where we are fighting against one another because we want to know who wears the pants. So it's, for me, I've always tried to have that conversation that it is more important for the man, because you, no matter what you do, you will never be that child's father. What the man brings on the table for the child, it's never going to be replicated. It's not money. It's not, I have said this time and time again. You can provide everything for a child. When that child is of age, the child is still going to go look for their father. So what is it that the child is looking for when they have everything that you can possibly buy for them? So it's not money. It's not provision. We cannot limit fathers to just money and provision, because I have seen it time and time again. Kids go out to look for who their father is. I have seen where there's a stepfather in the picture. He has done everything a man can possibly do, and the child still goes out to just know who their father is, just to have a relationship with that man. So again, it is not limited to fathers, to provision and money. Now, coming down to what the doctor said about Family Day, look, doc, we can have another day for Family Day. It will not be today. Today is going to be Father's Day for men, right, who are fathers. Family Day, we can pick one of the other many Sundays and make Family Day. It's good to have Family Day, but we're going to have Mother's Day. Biological women who brought kids to this, we're going to celebrate them, because they are the bosom, they are the most important and integral part of life, human life. We're going to celebrate mothers on their day. We are not going to take away from women. We are not going to take and create family days. We're going to respect women and women who are mothers and celebrate their day. We are going to then celebrate men who are fathers on today. We're going to celebrate them. And then, because we have another community which is a little different than everybody else, we are going to bring them together, and we are going to have a National Family Day, which is going to be all kinds of family, same sex family, different sex family. That's what the doctor is heading to. He's just not trying to say it that way, but that's his point. So let me just help him out and say, yes, we can have all of those kind of coalition family on that day, but it's not going to be today. You are not going to steal this day from me, Doc. So we're not going to transform today to Family Day, Mother's Day to Family Day. We're going to have the respective days, and we can then have your days when you guys want to celebrate. If I want to celebrate that day, I will celebrate. If I don't want to, I will not celebrate it. But today is my day, and I will celebrate it. Today is my Father's Day, and I will celebrate it.
Very, very, very important. Today is your day. Today is your Father's Day, and we all have to celebrate that day. There are so many interesting comments coming on. There are so many, and my question is, what I'm actually wondering is that these women, or the women who say they are celebrating themselves of being a father, is it that we are misunderstanding what they actually mean, or what they are saying, or they actually mean that they are fathers? Because my understanding is they are celebrating the role that they are playing in the children's life, especially, for example, the single parents who feel that they are single-handedly doing everything that they are supposed to do as a mother and as a father. I don't know, can somebody explain it to me? Are they actually saying that they are father to their children, or is it what they are doing, the role? Let someone explain it to me. I don't know. Eric, maybe you will explain it
Can I
better.
take that real quick?
Okay, that's fine. Go on, Harry.
All right, sorry guys that I'm jumping back and forth. So, first of all, they're confused. We've already established that they are confused. They're conflicting a man and a father. Yes, a father has to be a man, but the role of a man is to provide and protect. A woman can provide and protect too. So what they're doing is just providing and protect. That's not what a father is. Again, like we said earlier, I think most of them were not on here. A
Yeah.
father is not limited to provision and protection. That is a man. And this, if you notice, they're all single women. So they don't have a man, right? There's no man in their life to provide and protect. So what they are doing is the job of a man, not a job of a father. They have a man's problem, not a father's problem, right? Because the first thing that they need to have is a man, right? So that the man will be able to help them with the provision and protection, right? That's the job. That's the primary, most important job of a man. That is not the job of a father. I've already said this. A father is to love, right? Is to love. A father's love is not the same as a mother's love. That's why I'm saying that a father is to love, because our love is not the same. The way we love our kids is not the same, but only us and the kids understand that we love each other. A father does not keep telling their kids, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you every day. But ask a kid, ask any kid if their father loves them. A father yells more than the mom. A father is always shouting. A father is always screaming. A father is always whooping. But the child knows there's some kind of bond, there's some kind of connection between a child and the father that is unique, and that cannot be limited to money. So what a woman is doing is just playing the role of a man, and anybody can do that. A woman can do that, a man can do that. That's why two women can be in a relationship and both of them are providing and protecting each other, and it's good, it's okay, right? But there's no father in that relationship. We cannot confuse this. Oh, I'm doing this. This is what a father, that's what a man is supposed to do. A man is supposed to go out, work, hunt, put the food on the table. That is a man. That's not a father. That is a man. I do that every day as a man. I don't do that as a father. My role as a father is not paying my kids tuition, putting food on the table. That's not what I do as a father. That's what I would do as a man. Because whether I have children or I don't have children, I would do the same thing. Every day I will wake up and go to work and do exactly the same thing. I don't do it because I have children. I do it because I'm a man. That's why God created me as a man to do that. So those women don't have men. They're single women. That's how they're identified. Single mothers. Typically, single mothers are single. There's no man in their life to help them provide and protect. So they're conflicting a man's role and a father's role.
Okay. Who do I go to? Eric? Doctor Eric is laughing. Doctor is
Let a
shaking
couple
his
of
head.
speak, then I'll come in.
Doctor is shaking his head. Doctor, over to you.
Oh, you want me to come in?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Eric, happy Father's Day. I see you a very proud father. And take
Thank
across,
you.
happy Father's Day. I see you a very, very happy and proud father.
Yeah.
And your kids, you all mentioned your kids, how they are so proud for Eric. They draw him Superman and stuff. Have you ever sat for a while and think about kids who don't have fathers? And why don't they have fathers? One, father might be dead. Two, the father, the mother might have had that child through an unknown sperm donor. It's not in every country that the identity of the sperm donor is given to the woman. So the woman does not know when she goes to fertility clinic to get the sperm. Three, the concept of fatherhood was based on heterosexual families. When I was growing up and when most of us were growing, they made us to understand that there is the heterosexual monopoly over reproduction. But now it is in the modern setup, the form has changed. You have homosexual families that have men and have fathers. You have heterosexual families that are made only of women and they have kids. How will these kids celebrate a Father's Day? Are we sensitive to the needs of these kids? Like Mr. Eric said, he works with children with developmental disabilities like autism. That is a concern. I believe in people who see the needs of other people, not only theirs. I have my kids. They've all hugged me for happy Father's Day. If they had a program in school for Father's Day, I would have gone. They would have been very happy to see their father. But just think about that kid sitting in that classroom who has no father for all the various reasons I've given. So, because of the change in the traditional family setup, the concept of fatherhood is in crisis and it needs to be addressed to be more inclusive, to be able to capture all the children that don't have fathers. It is not a matter of gay community. We have Anderson Cooper of CNN. He is a proud father. And research, numerous research, have shown that gay fathers are more committed to their children, they are more reliable, they are more trustworthy than the traditional fathers that we grew up to know. These are published research. And as the community moves on, I want us to move on also with our appellations. I'm thinking of seriously that this idea of Father's Day, Mother's Day should be merged to be a Parents' Day or a Family Day. I still stand by that. Thank you.
That's quite touching and emotional. And on that note, I'm thinking of parents, of fathers with special needs children. I'm thinking of all those special needs children, especially those with developmental delays or developmental disabilities that doctor has just mentioned. Some of them who actually have their fathers, but they are not aware of the fact that there's this day we are celebrating. They don't fully understand because of their disability. I love that. And that's inclusion, as you said. So special salute to all the fathers, special needs fathers, especially to my husband. I've got to celebrate him, who finds himself in a situation where many who come from where he comes from, many of his age have refused to stay there because of the situation they found themselves in, but he stood his grounds and he's there. So I salute him today. I'm celebrating him on behalf of his boys and his girl and his grandson. So, and same goes to every other special needs dad out there. I salute you all. So we continue. There are lots of messages coming in there. So we will come to that, or lots of comments. We want to appreciate all of you for watching, for contributing. And I really appreciate that. We need more dads, more fathers to be here today to be watching. And Eric, you mentioned that something must have happened, or maybe something was put in water overnight and we drank, and there are less fights on social media now about people celebrating themselves as fathers, etc., etc. I think the issue is there's more awareness. I love that word, awareness. There's more understanding. I think we had celebrated, I mean women, I mean mothers, because we've always known about Mother's Day, we've always known about Women's Day. So we've celebrated it for too long. Sometimes we even exaggerated. We all know what happens in Cameroon. If you don't sell me that kaba on Women's Day or on Mother's Day, you finish at the pull lock. So nothing that happened tonight. So which which is ridiculous anyway. So yeah. So when we have a day like this one, it's really good to do it peacefully, amicably, quietly, without comparing, because there's never a day that the woman will replace, or there's never a day that the mother will replace a father, or that the father will replace a mother. And once we start talking and saying a father does this, a mother does this, there's some sort of conflict, there's some sort of a fight. We should avoid that. We all know that a man will never carry a baby for 9 months. Some of you, whether jokingly or not jokingly, you say, well, we've carried them the whole of our lives. Yeah, but we don't see them. Nobody sees them unless something happens and it transforms itself into us. And you guys come out, you guys sitting there, you came out of us because of a father, or maybe because of a father. Anyway, we continue.
Because of his sperm.
Which came from a man, and that sperm, what came out of that sperm, that's a child, made him a father. Am I wrong?
The sperm might come out from somebody that even the woman doesn't know that person. If the child ends up not knowing from where that sperm came from.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
That's a choice. That's a choice. That's somebody's individual choice. It's not random. They decided to get an unknown sperm donor, and we're not going to change the way things are because of people's individual choices. Right? If you decide to go to a sperm bank and have a child, that is a decision you made as an adult, as an individual, and you're responsible for that decision. The world does not owe you nothing. Nobody, they don't need to change what fathers are because you are a woman who went to a sperm bank and bought sperms for $5,000 or $10,000. Individual decision and choice. You are responsible for that. Why are we changing people? Why are we changing traditional norms because of people's individual choices and decisions?
No, why is the child? Why would the child be punished for the decision made by mother?
The child is not being punished. The child is living their reality. That is the reality of their mother. It's nobody's reality. It's not, it's
Okay.
not, it is their reality. They should
Mhm.
not, we are not going to change things that work to accommodate that child. They're not being punished. It's just their reality. There have been kids in orphanage since I was born, and I'm over 40, right? So kids have been in orphanage. We have never changed things because there's been kids in orphanage who don't know neither their mothers, neither their parents. Are those kids being punished? Why now are you insisting? Why 20 years ago, when we didn't know the whole Rainbow Coalition, why didn't you fight for those kids who were in orphanage, who didn't have a father or a mother?
I don't think it's about rainbow, because I don't think all the children in the orphanage are there because their mothers didn't, or their mothers opted to have them from a sperm donor. We should be very careful about that. So a
Well,
comment.
they're there because they don't have parents, right? Or in Africans' case, they're there because they don't have, there's no clear father or mother. In the Western world, they could be there because the homes in which they live are abusive or unconducive for them. So they remove them and put them in a safe home, right? But now that does not exist in Africa. In Africa, the 90% of kids who are in orphanage are because they were given up for adoption, they were found in some kind of dustbin or something.
90% anyway. I don't know. I'm not too sure about the statistics. We have situations where a woman has been raped and the children has to end up being adopted or in an orphanage. So I
So
think
that
the
same
only
thing,
thing
right? She
that,
gave
yeah.
up the child for adoption.
Uh-huh. And another person also said, yeah, like I mentioned, that it's not really a choice about those who were raped. Henry, what's your take on that?
Yeah, what I just want to say is really I like us to continue with such discussions because we are creating a lot of awareness. You know, um, I'm very intrigued, which I think is after this that I'm going to be able to reflect on what Dr. Eugene has been saying.
Mhm.
But otherwise, I've not looked at it that way. It's something that I will look at it from reflection. But when I just with my African background and the way I was brought up, I
Mhm.
cannot accommodate that as of now. That ideology of looking at the father as maybe or looking at like a family, you keep looking at it as a family because of the different dynamics of families. And but because what I want us to draw at is the way it works. I have to just pick a phone call, then I join back. Is that okay?
Okay, sure.
Mm.
Sure, thanks for that. Um, Let me just look at the comment and
While
okay.
you're looking at the comment, right?
Yeah.
We need to be able to put what the doctor said in check, right? We need to be able to put that in check. We
Mm,
cannot have that narrative just run out here unchecked. It is not true that there's one community that are better parents than another community. It is totally untrue. No science. First of all, it's not. It's the science that's going to be presented is the science from the liberal side of the country. That is a biased science, right? They are out here to sell an agenda, which the good doctor, my very good friend, is out here promoting and selling. It is an insult to say that men in the LGBT community are better fathers than heterosexual men. It's an insult. We should not be competing who is a better man. And they do that just to show that it's in a defense to say LGBT people can also be fathers. So to be able to justify two men raising a child, they have to then bring down heterosexual men who in essence are traditional family creators, and that should not be the case. We should be able to celebrate Anderson Cooper, who's a father. We should be able to celebrate him today, right? It's his day as a father, but we should not be able to then say that Anderson Cooper is a better father than Harry Fawn or than Eric or than Shay, who are heterosexual males. That's an aberration. That should not be allowed anywhere on earth. We both situations can coexist. Anderson Cooper can be an amazing father. Every other heterosexual male can be amazing fathers as well. So when you hear that there is science, and they always throw the science out there as if science is some kind of monolith, it's some kind of science is not wrong. When somebody just says the science back this, what are we supposed to do? Dance and celebrate? No. So the good doctor is on this platform today not to celebrate fathers, to sell a message, to tell us that fathers are not to be celebrated. We need to be more inclusive. We need to be seeing people who are gender neutral, but they have a family. They don't identify as neither male or female, but they have a family. And that's why he said somebody, he did not say a man can donate sperms. Only a man can donate sperms. There's no other person that is capable to donate. If you have sperms, you're a man, right? Only a man. That's why when we talked about the sperm bank, the good doctor said somebody in their world, somebody can be anything. It could be a woman, it could be a man, it could be they, them, and others. And so we are stealing the conversation from me. And if you remember when we had this pre-conversation, I told you today is not a day I want to fight with anybody. Today is a day I want to celebrate Eric. I want to celebrate myself. I want to celebrate my dad. And occasionally I want to celebrate the good doctor. But I don't know.
Why occasionally? You are taking sides and you're actually fighting right now.
If he's not standing with me today, then I cannot celebrate somebody that don't stand with me.
No, he doesn't necessarily have to stand with you, because it's also about inclusion.
No, there's no inclusion today. Today is not about inclusion. Today is about fathers. We're not including nobody. You are a father, and I would tell you, a father is an adult male. Anything that does not identify as that is not today their day. Today is not about them. Every day cannot be about you. So today is about the adult male who is a father, right? Anything other than that is today's not their day. We will celebrate them. We can pick. There are 365 days in a year. We can pick any day and celebrate everybody. I'm all about celebration. But today, see, on Women's Day, on Mother's Day, I do the same thing. I don't want inclusion. I want women, biological women who are mothers, women who have raised kids, who have adopted a child and raised a child, who define as a mother. We celebrate them on that day. That's as far as inclusion as I will go. Today, I don't share today with nobody, and I will not accept that option.
So you do agree that we can choose what to celebrate, because you actually choose what to celebrate on the day. Then why can't we agree or accept what another person chooses to celebrate? Doctor,
celebrate whatever you want to celebrate. Today is still part of the Pride Month. People are celebrating Pride, whatever. They can celebrate whatever they want to celebrate. But to celebrate Father's Day, today is a bunch of people's birthdays. They are celebrating their birthdays. They don't care about Father's Day. Today, there are so many occasions. Women are giving birth today, right? There's so many things happening on this particular day. People are celebrating across the world. But for those who are celebrating Father's Day, they are celebrating men who are fathers. Nothing else.
Let's hear from Doctor. Doctor, over to you. Harry, we back.
Happy Father's Day. I celebrate Father's Day. I know you're a wonderful father. I never said gay fathers are better. I said research has shown that they are more committed, more reliable, more trustworthy. Nothing in there is absolute. And I'm not denigrating or taking anything from you as a father in a heterosexual relationship. Now, we are all looking at this from the perspective of us. Today is our day. I am celebrating father. Think about a 1-year-old child, a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old kindergarten child who has no father, which is nothing of her fault. How will he feel? Put yourself in the position of that child. That child never decided to come from, say, a lesbian household. The child was brought into this world by a lady who is in a lesbian relationship. This lady went to the sperm bank, and it's not every country that has a mandate that the father or the name of the sperm donor given to the mother. And there are some women who don't want, because they are thinking about themselves, just as Trekatos is thinking about himself. They are not thinking about the fruit that will come out from that decision. So I am looking at Father's Day from the point of view from a child that, just as we are looking at children with developmental disabilities, these children came into this world into a family structure that is none of theirs. So what do we do to accommodate these children to be able to celebrate a fatherhood, or to be able to celebrate Mother's Day? And they have clearly said that fatherhood is different from a man. And I don't want to go into argument with Trekatos about who is a man and who is not a man. If fatherhood is different from a man, then fatherhood is a role that has cultural, social, and historical features. And if anybody can provide these roles, that person can be celebrated as has provided the role of a fatherhood. It can be there are two words. There is fatherhood and there is parenting. So, Trekatos, I'm not taking anything from your enjoyment today, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to expand and widen the concept of fatherhood to be more inclusive of these children who came into this world into a family that they didn't decide. Let me stop.
Doctor, that's a very good contribution again. But what I wanted to say is, just give us the time to enjoy. I say we have not even actually celebrated fatherhood in the past, because in the past, single mothers celebrate fatherhood. So even the day that we are creating that awareness, that we are actually understanding that there is something like fatherhood, even that day you want to snatch it away from us and make it to be something different. I don't know if you get my picture, because what I'm trying to say is it's really our day. It's Father's Day, and let's celebrate it as such. If we try to go to gymnastics, because when you talk, I get a lot of gymnastics. Some is like the gay one. Research shows, because when you talk of the gay one, it means the two men, right? Research shows that they make better fathers than definitely two is better than one. You know, two is better than one. There are two men in the house. I'm just one man. So I'm just thinking, if you're looking at the fatherhood and then you look at your research, definitely the gay one, I guess it will be, they'll make better fathers. Or because I don't know if you mean among the gay, one is a man and the other is a father. When we look at the definition of tres, you know. So, but what I just really want to say is, if in this concept of fatherhood, if we try to massage it, we're going to get it messed up, because it will not have a beginning and an end. And that is why, if we are looking at fatherhood or celebrating Father's Day, it's Father's Day. If you are introducing something new, we are going to have a day for it. We are really going to organize a day for something like that. The reason being that, as you see, as we try to embrace everything, to be inclusive in everything, we have to get it in perspective. Because to be honest with you, I will not want my own children to be confused, to be caught up in this web of confusion and frustration, especially from the Western world, where everything looks normal if the Western world has said this is normal. If Africa says it's normal, if the Western world doesn't say yes, it is not normal. And there are so many quotations that you can quote yourself. But if you listen to some great leaders, I call them great leaders, like the president of Kenya, the president of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni. All of them challenged Obama when he goes and he's bringing his philosophy of same-sex marriage and things like that. And to them, they said that is not the interest for Africa right now. When we get that bridge, we'll cross, right? Because in America, 20 years ago, they were not accepting it like now. So when we are creating this awareness of Father's Day, it is actually creating an awareness. And I think if we keep doing what we are doing now, next year, the number of people, of men who have run away from homes, who are not taking into their responsibilities, who are not showing love to their children, they're going to come on board. We bring back the family, and then we'll get those different names, and then we can celebrate the other one you're talking about. So I was just thinking loud that if we have to celebrate Father's Day, we celebrate Father's Day. Look at those fathers and say, I celebrate you. And when you do that, tomorrow, they would like to be celebrated again. The way we do with every other person, human beings likes to be appreciated. And if we have this day that we say, oh, let us appreciate these fathers who are doing this great job in the world, in our families, in our community, we do it. We have to celebrate them. And that is why when I'm celebrating a father, trust me, I'm not just celebrating myself. I look at other fathers around me, my friends, fathers, my own father, myself. I have to look at those fathers and I say, I celebrate you, because there should be an opportunity where I can say, thank you for the good job you're doing. Keep doing it. In a way, it brings on board those who are lagging behind. To be honest, what Tres was saying, we have to ask,
you've not addressed the concern of kids who don't have father, which
I would
nothing
address it, doctor. I would address it whenever he's done. I would address it.
Okay, that's true. Thank you very much. So anyway, I've just lost the thought a little bit, but I think I passed the point across. And when I come back next time, I think I'll be back myself.
Okay. All right. That's good, Eric. I love the fact that you talked about absent fathers. Yes. He bears the title of father, but is he present? He's not. But some will argue I'm not present, but they receive my presence, my presence and stuff. Is that what's most important? So we need a father also that is present. I know Tres will not agree with this as well, but if I am in that situation, just you sitting somewhere and boasting, hitting your chest, I'm a father, I'm a father. Because if I had to meet someone today, right, who tells me he has a child, if he had to get married to me, he has a child somewhere, my first question is, what is your role to that child? What are you doing to that child? Is the child in your life? Are you in that child's life? Harry, I will still Harry, sorry, Tres Catos is the same person. If you guys are wondering who I keep calling Harry, that's Tres Catos. So you let me know which one you want me to call you while we are speaking here today. Is fatherhood just about bearing that title, or does it have anything to do with the father's presence? I personally, I do think that to celebrate Father's Day, we also we honor, we celebrate, we appreciate those fathers in our lives. And it's also an opportunity for the absent fathers to look for ways to reconnect with their children, whatever made them run away. Or I don't know if they ran away, because there may be so many reasons why they are not in their children's lives. I do think that this is also an opportunity for them to reconnect. And also we do have children as well who have been maybe intoxicated or indoctrinated by maybe their moms about their dads, and they've stayed away because they've had just one-sided story. So it's also an opportunity for these children to look for ways to reconnect with their dads and find out what it is, because I know that no person can replace your father. no matter whatever that person has done to you in your life, your father will always be your father. So, Harry, over to you. You speak just before you go on. Let's just listen to a few minutes of seconds of music before you speak.
Daddies, them say we don't know how to marry, we just they worry. Daddies, them say all we do is to run away from the babies. Daddies, every day we do this and that. Them say we no be responsible. No be everybody day like that. It just be funny cause if man no day, if puppy no day, then waiting we gain. If man no day, if man no day, how we go exist? Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to every man where they fight for their responsibility. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you.
Oh, what an emotional and beautiful song that is. So from that song, we can actually tell that there's been a lot of negative things being said about fathers in the past, and which is one of the reasons why we are having this conversation here today. This is an opportunity for us to give a voice to fatherhood, to that image, that person who it's very difficult to ignore because of who he is in a family, because of who he is in the society. So here at the Voice of Hope Media, we give a voice to those issues, to those societal issues often regarded as taboo or as too emotional or too sensitive to be talked about in the public. And fatherhood and celebrating fatherhood and paternal bond is just one of them. This is an opportunity for us to create awareness on about Father's Day. So many fathers out there should be able to celebrate themselves, celebrate to let their children celebrate them. I think we as parents as well, we can also celebrate ourselves, because on Mother's Day I do celebrate myself as a mother, because I will say that motherhood is a very difficult journey. Because as a mother, when you are pregnant, you're going in there into theater or into that labor room. You don't know whether you are going to come back alive. You don't know whether the two of you will go or you come back alive. So on Mother's Day, I celebrate myself as well as being a mother. I also expect fathers to be able to celebrate themselves. And as mothers, we can celebrate you as well, only if you give us the opportunity to celebrate you through our children or with our children. And more can only be talked about this day if you guys take up that responsibility to celebrate your day, to acknowledge the day and appreciate the day without fighting. So, Harry, over to you.
I thank you for that question. Runaway dads. I don't know what that is, or absentee fathers, as you would want to say. It's a mixing bowl. It's a lot of things, but we're not going to get into that. Men, generally, men, we um, we are we are like copycats, right? If I'm a man and I'm friends with Eric, and on his status, I see him spend time with his kids. He's taking his son, his daughter, his kids out. He's spending time with his kid, and I don't do the same thing. If I call Eric up and he's like, "Well, man, the kids, he's talking about his kids constantly," it starts to occur to me to go back and go look at my own situation. That is the space that the average man operates in, right? If a man sees how you treat your woman and you don't need to tell him anything. It speaks. It tells him that go take care of your own woman. And the average man with any sense is gonna autocorrect. So we are the first defense. We're the first direction to men who you guys consider absentee fathers. And women need to understand it's very critical that the man left you. He did not leave his children or his kids. That needs to be said loud and clear. A man can separate from you does not mean that he has separated from his children, and that those lines are very blurry. But men learn faster from other men than they learn from women. So on social media, like Eric said, in the past years. When women are out there celebrating themselves, what are you saying? You're telling the men not to come back because you're gonna antagonize the men, you're gonna insult them. You're already assuming that role. But when you give the man space to come in and be the man, because again, we are completing a man and a father. Because like you just said, right, AC, your dad is what, 83 or 93, you said?
93 soon.
93. And I
Mhm.
would assume you are the one taking care of your father right now.
All of us.
Huh?
All of us. I'm number 6, so all of us
So I
are.
mean, all the kids are responsible for taking care of dad right now.
Yeah.
Is he less of a father because he's not able to take care of you guys?
No.
Exactly. So a father's job is not to provide because you are the ones providing right now. The man was
Harry,
providing when he
Harry,
was
he's a 93-year-old man, so you wouldn't expect a
exactly,
lot
but
from
he's still
him.
your father, right? He is still your father. Why is he not providing and protecting you guys? Why has the roles changed?
I don't want to fight with you.
Exactly. So the man who is your father, when he was in his prime and when he had the energy, he was doing what a man was supposed to do, taking care of you guys, right? And you guys, he loved you guys. You guys are reciprocating that love right now. That's what you guys are doing. That's what every 80s babies and below, 90 babies and below, that's what we're doing right now to all our parents.
We are 70 babies. Be careful.
No, I'm saying 90s and below because these 2,000 children are not going to take care of us, right?
No, okay.
Right? The group that the doctor represents, they have taught the kids that they're not going to be able to take care of us. This is the last generation of people taking care of their parents, right? But are they less of a father, right? Are they less because we are the ones taking care of them right now, right? So when does a father stop being that provider and protector? A father never stops because he never started. The man can stop because at some point his body cannot carry him to provide and protect. So the roles of a man of protecting and providing switches to you, the child, but they remain your father for life. When your father passes on, you still celebrate your father, but they're not there providing for you. So we cannot keep thinking that you only limit a father to he needs to be there in the child's life to buy school books. That is the role of a man, and we must accept that.
Yeah, I just want to add something, Clarice.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, what I want to add is I really want us not to confuse our children, not to not to bring them up in a world where they will not be able to understand what is actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we have to give them our definition of a father, we have destroyed it. They have to grow up and know who a father is. If you define a father as what we have been doing this evening, when you do that, you actually make the child more confused. Because,
Yes.
for instance, if a lady gets a man and gets a child, the child walks away, another man comes into the house. You tell the child to call that man father. The next year, that man has gone, another one comes. What do you tell the child? In the next 5 years, what do you tell the child? That you had 5 fathers and you're having the sixth one next year? We will get everything wrong if we are giving a definition of what a father is because we want the children to be comfortable, not to be shy, not we don't want to hurt their feelings, or we want them to enjoy Father's Day, right, with other children and things like that. There is a world I grew in which I really enjoy. I grew in Womb, Cameroon, in Womb, small village, and you will discover that during days like Mother's Day, Women's Day, the women they get gifts and things like that, and they go to an orphanage and they celebrate with the kids. It's more meaningful than to lie to those children that they are their mothers. I prefer women, mothers, you go and celebrate with the ones who you think they might be lacking, or and they need that love, that support. Go and celebrate with them. It's not to go there and then they call you mother, to call you, yeah, you are my mother. I think that would be a better picture for our kids if we use language and we make them know that, oh, this one is a father because he represents that father figure. Um, Trust me, that in the next generation, we'll be telling them to call this technology. They'll make computer will make a man in the house, and trust me, the children will call that daddy. So we have to actually try to stay back to our roots, back to the history. We shouldn't get it confused. All what is happening now, let's not fall into that pool and go with the flow. Trust me, we're going to destroy our own.
Hey,
That
Eric, let me add to what you just said, and to that was to the doctor's point about that child who is growing up in a two mothers household. And what you just said is tell that child the truth. You don't have a father. You have two mommies. You have two mothers, right? You have whatever you want to call it, but what you don't have is a father. And
is
that
that
child is
is that
going
not
to.
what they tell them? You have two
But
mothers, you have
But
two
Shay
fathers.
is saying that we should change that narrative because we should include that child into the celebration because they don't have a father. One of their mothers is a father. No, you have two mommies.
No,
There's
that
no father here.
nope.
Your father was, we don't know, it was some random sperms that we collected from somewhere and paid $5,000 or $10,000. That's where we got you from. But we love you. We love you. And that's the most important thing. You don't have a father. That child, like Eric said, is going to grow up not looking for anybody. But when you try to do this whole kumbaya, please everybody, oh, inclusivity, that is trying to please everybody. You cannot please everybody. It's impossible to please everybody. And the
Um,
same thing on Mother's Day. Anderson Cooper and his partner should tell their son that you don't have a mother. We are not going to be celebrating any Mother's Day. Your egg was some free egg that was given at some clinic, and we used it or some that we bought the egg for $5,000, and we used it to make you. That is the truth that they should tell that child. But are they going to do it? No. They want us to now adjust to accommodate their lives.
Mm. Yeah,
can I just
sorry, just
say
to read something. I'll just read it. I'm not talking. Just a message from Evelyn from Cameroon. She says to Harry, she's clapping. A father is a father. He doesn't become less of a father in his old age because he can't provide and protect. Bravo, Harry. Bellissimo.
from Cameroon, Bellissimo. We are bilingual, aren't we? Anyway, thank you so much, Evelyn, for that. And um, before we continue, and we don't have long to be here anymore, w- one thing which I've been thinking and trying to understand Dr. Eugene's point of view. What if, let me ask, what if we had a child here, right, in our midst as a guest speaker who had to sit there as from who had to speak from a point of view of a child who doesn't have a father in their lives? Because my understanding is Dr. Ate seems to be taking that position. He's looking at that child who doesn't have a father in his life. And as fathers here, how do we help them? How do we manage such a situation? Should we just sit and say, well, it's not my fault, he or she doesn't have a father, because we already think that probably he or she doesn't have a father because the mom selfishly went and got a sperm donor.
All right.
How do we help these children? We know that we are here to celebrate Father's Day and honor and also acknowledge the fathers in our lives.
Yeah.
So, and who are those to celebrate them? They are the children. So, what if a child comes to you now? I don't have a father. Will you send them away? That you are not my responsibility. If
Yeah.
that's the case, then many of us wouldn't be helping those children in the orphanages. We wouldn't, because we know that they are not our children, and we did not ask them to be born. To be honest with you, all of us sitting here, we all have children. All those children didn't ask for us to give birth to them or to conceive them and give birth to them, same as every other child out there who doesn't have a father. So as we celebrate this Father's Day, let's also think of those children who are out there who do not have a father, who know they've never identified anyone as a father. I spoke with a young girl about 20 years a few weeks ago, and she said to me, she united with her dad just a few years ago, and she said to me all she wanted in her life was to be with her father. They were apart, but they are together. So, Doctor, over to you. Let's give it another 10 minutes and then we round up the show. It seems there may be a part two. We are still in June, right? So we can still come back.
All right. So probably when I introduced myself, Trekatos, Harry did not get who I am. I stand for something. I defend the rights of the oppressed. I defend the rights of the voice. I defend the rights of those who are alive in society. I defend the rights of anyone that I feel is being cheated. I fight for women's rights. I'm not a woman. The first time I spoke with Clarice and I learned of what she was doing, I supported her cause for autism. I'm not, I don't have a child that. But since I stand for the right of people, mature people, to get engaged in any relationship they find appropriate for them. Harry is fond of saying the group I represent. I don't represent any group. I defend the rights of those who are stigmatized by the society. That definition. Now, Harry and Eric have been talking about relation with their children, relationship with their, how they love their children. I'll end by asking one question. Does the relationship within the family matter more to the child or the form of the Number two, Clarice has made a very good explanation. I gave reasons why children don't have fathers. One of them was that they might be coming up from a lesbian family. Harry, as usual, he chooses and selects and hammers the point. I'm talking about lesbian families. No, I'm talking about children who don't have fathers. Their father might have died. Their father might have, they might conceived with a sperm that has unknown fatherhood. Unknown, the male is not known by the woman. So Harry's right. It is a woman's choice. She decided to get the sperm and she bought it for about 5,000, 10,000. But I'm not looking at whether it's choice or not. I'm looking at that young man sitting in class. Every child is having a happy birthday card, a happy father's card, Father's Day card, Mother's Day card, and he sits there and there's no father to give him a card. It is not his fault. That is why I'm saying that Father's Day is good. I celebrated, my kids celebrated with me, but I'm looking at that child who has no father of no cause of his or her. That is my point. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have anything to say? And then we go through the comments and then we round up the show.
Can I?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, really, I want to appreciate the contribution of Dr. Eugene. I think that last bit is very powerful to me. It's a good idea of not of including others, because I can imagine myself, as I truly said, celebrating my Father's Day with my kids. Then I have to think of those who can't do that, who don't have the fathers to celebrate with them.
Mm-hmm.
Was still, I think of because I'm very much passionate working with people with autism, was still thinking of those children who can celebrate but they can't because of
Understand.
their disability or
Mhm.
because of their autism or because of their difficulty. You discover that as a father or as those fathers, does it mean they will not celebrate the day because the child is not able to say or to, you know? So with that dynamism, I think it's a very good approach. But I will still want us to have a day for it because the Father's Day, let's celebrate us. And when we celebrate us today, we celebrate us next year. A lot of women would show their men that look at those fathers. I want to celebrate you. Let's join them. And we'll discover that after some time, we'll have that family, that community of a family life. It will come up, but we have to be sure that we can stand and celebrate us. I don't know if you watch how women celebrate Women's Day and Mother's Day. It is so, I always get jealous because it's as if they were born on that day. Uh, We have to celebrate it as well. And because of that, they are really proud to be women. It's as if we are not proud enough to be men.
That's
We have
true.
not even come up to say this. We are fathers. It's as if we are hiding.
Yeah.
So we should do something like this. This. I think this should also be the beginning. And if there's another discussion or debate on this topic, please, Clarice, include my name because I want us to have this discussion again. But I will
Definitely.
not let it go that Dr. Eugene, that idea of having better a family, it's a brilliant one. But to me, we'll have another day for it. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Harry.
Yeah, Eric.
Hey.
Generally, we have not men are, you know, it's not very common to see men being celebrated, right? We're always brought down. We Every time you see a group of men trying to celebrate anything, it's always gonna be, hey, see that useless one that men cannot just celebrate. You understand? So celebrating Father's Day has been a war, but we are winning the war, and we're building. We're building. We thought that we were fighting with single mothers to be able to be included, but now we are fighting with Dr. Eugene's community, how inclusive. So you're winning one war and starting another war, man. Man cannot get a breather, man, nowhere. And then the another thing you said, Man's Day is November 19th, my brother. We are going to have another conversation. There is a day called Man's Day, National Man's Day, and
Mhm.
trust me, it's November 19th, 2022. We will celebrate it too. We are going to be men. We are going to own all of that space and be proud of it. Now, um, let me round up about saying this.
Okay.
Uh, Doc, look, I sympathize, man. Yeah, I understand about every child's condition. I love kids. I want to see kids happy. Um, I used to be a nurse, and I'll tell you my experience. One of the hardest thing when I was a nurse is when I did pediatric nursing. It was one of the hardest thing I could do to see a child suffer, right? I give out to all the nurses and doctors that work with kids because it's the most traumatic thing. I mean, it brought a grown man like myself down. So I don't want to see a child hurt. I don't want to see a child suffer. But truth remains the truth. Father's Day is going to be Father's Day. It's just unfortunate that some kids do not have access to their fathers because of the different relationships, or maybe the father died. Last year I lost a very good friend of mine. She died. So next year the child was 1 year old when she passed. Are you saying that when that child grows up she's not going to have memories, pictures of her mom? We cannot change the narrative because of that one little beautiful girl, but we need to be able to surround that girl with love and tell her about her mom. And in the cases that you say that there's no father because of the mother's choices or their romantic orientation, we have to be able to tell those kids the truth, not change anything. Let's tell the kids the truth. In every class, this is Pride Month. You think in public school, all the kids are celebrating Pride Month. The kids who have good parents are celebrating
Pride Month more than the kids that have straight parents. Is that fair for the kids that have straight parents? They're not celebrating Pride Month right now. But the kids that have gay parents, the kids that are in gay relationships are going to gay parades, are going to pride stuff. They're happy, they're celebrating. What about the other kids? Do we ever think about it? We cannot satisfy everybody. Juneteenth is coming up on Monday. It's typically like a very black holiday, or let's say Black History Month on February. What about the kids who are not black in the class? Are they understanding what the black kids are celebrating? Right? So we cannot always say change everything to
No,
accommodate the
that
small
is the point.
minority of people. Sorry?
That is the point you are making. For Black African, for a Black month or Juneteenth, you see white people celebrating. Why do you think that these kids don't celebrate Pride Month? It is an
They don't
inclusive
celebrate
month,
it as we celebrate it. It's personal to us.
so it's
It
an
is. It
invitation.
is. They,
Yeah,
they're celebrating
so
because it's
that
a holiday. I mean, if you go to North, if you go to Arabic countries, I'm sure they celebrate Christmas, but they don't care. Does an Arab celebrate Christmas like I celebrate Christmas? Can I celebrate Ramadan like a Muslim celebrates Ramadan? No. So, but we cannot say everybody must celebrate Ramadan. We cannot say everybody must celebrate Christmas. We understand the pain and the plight of these kids. It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. We love them. We will give them love. They can come and eat ice cream in my house with my kids celebrating me and go back to their homes. It's all about love, but they cannot take my day from me. That's it.
Thank you so much, Harry, for that. And just to mention, before we go, you all know how passionate I am about autism. For your information, the 18th of June is celebrated as Autistic Pride Day. You permit me read. So, Harry, the Autistic Pride Day doesn't have anything to do with the rainbow, with the pride discussion you've been having with Dr. Ate. So they say every year organizations from across the globe celebrate Autistic Pride Day on June 18th with a variety of events. So the aim of this day is to raise awareness amongst those who are not on the autistic spectrum disorder, so they do not see autistic people as requiring treatment, but as unique individuals. So that was just an aside, but because I am an autism ambassador and an autism advocate and an autism mom, so I thought it wise to mention that here today. So it's a day for us. It's a day to celebrate us who are non-autistic or who are not on the autism spectrum, not to see autism as a condition that needs treatment, but as a condition that affects people who are very unique as they are. So
Why they add the pride in there? Why can it not just be autistic day? Why
no,
they add pride?
because there's an autism awareness acceptance day in April. So this is Autistic Pride Day.
What is the
So
pride? What has the pride got to do with autism?
okay, we are not going into that now. This may be
Exactly.
another
You see
topic
why
for
I'm the way I am, because those little additions.
that may be another topic for another day. At of the moment, let's look at some of the comments here, and then we acknowledge everyone who has been here, who has watched. Apparently we've been here for it's almost 2 hours. Can you imagine? So well done to ourselves and everyone that has been here. So yeah, we acknowledge P. Atuntala, who was the very first person to comment, and he said, there are no fathers without mothers. So celebrating Father's Day is celebrating mothers even more. Happy Father's Day to all of you here. For Enrulindi said, it is an interesting day. Happy Father's Day to true fathers. Happy Father's Day to women who play the role of fathers in the lives of their kids. I'm sure Eric is going to be fight with you reeling this. So, Ivy, thank you so much for watching. And you said Happy Father's Day to all the amazing dads on here, to you all. Kate, Russell, thank you for the invite. Thank you, Kate, for joining in. Priya, Yeah, she says, Happy Father's Day. Thank you for joining in. Happy Father's Day to all men up there and here on earth. That's from Kate Russell. Judith Moore, who happens to be the queen of Eric Moore. Uh-huh. So she says, a father is a father. A woman could never become a father, even if they are the breadwinners, just like a man could never become a woman on Mother's Day, even if they are a single parent. Happy Father's Day to all the amazing fathers out there. Thank you, Drew. And Ivy, we appreciate you for joining in. She said, no woman can claim that they are a father. Fathers are fathers, and that's period. Women could argue if the fathers of their children are a part of the upbringing or not, but to say that they are fathers is nonsense altogether. Oh, Ivy, she's spoken. Birch says, Happy Father's Day to us. I think some women, I think some women deserve it. Well, then Joe Joseph, thank you. He says, Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and would be fathers. Those are some of the fathers we forgot to celebrate as well. The fathers here who may become, the people here who are gradually becoming fathers, maybe in the next couple of hours. And he said, it is not about competition. Some fathers are actually irresponsible. That was something we didn't mention. Yes, some fathers are irresponsible. And Crystal said that question should be asked to the woman who plays the role, not a man. I think that was surely from one of the comments, from one of the things you guys said. Relindis also said, that's right, a father is to love. But what about those sperm donors who distribute sperms everywhere and refuse paternity of the children, forcing the women to love like the father? That is a very good question. So Birch also said, your mother gave birth to you as a man, Mr. Eric, and you became a father when you have brought a soul in this world. I then Relindis also said, Dr. Eugene, you get sense. My uncle can be my father, etc. Make me really move on. And then Ivy also mentioned that sperm fathered the child, whether the woman knows the donor or not. Do we get it? So it's not about the woman knowing who that sperm donor is. It's about the fact that that sperm fathered that child. And you reading this also said it's not a choice. What about when the woman is raped? That was when we were saying that it's the woman's choice to go and get a sperm donor to have a child because she's selfish, kind of. So Dr. Anila said, Happy Father's Day. Judith again mentioned being in an orphanage doesn't necessarily mean there is no father. The women may still know the father, and the child still end up in an orphanage because the father may refuse to be available to help take care of the child. There are so many reasons why children end up in orphanages. And Judith still mentioned, I don't even think a woman who deliberately goes for a sperm donor, the child end up in orphanages, and they choose that because they are capable. That makes sense. So further, Judith also, she disagreed with Tres when he said there are a lot of men who don't have that autocorrect sense. I know a lot of men who left their kids and they don't care about them. What about the era where there was no social media? Why do we place so much emphasis on social media as though that is the only forum where people can learn from each other? What about the days of no social media where our parents not performing their duty as a father without socials? Or where our parents not performing their duties as a father without social media? We have to acknowledge that there are still run. I think she didn't complete her comment or something. Dr. Anila, it was a pleasure having you. A father's role is not a provider's role, it is a bond. If that bond doesn't exist, you have no right to celebrate this day. And I wonder, will that bond exist if the father is somewhere else? The father is in absentia or an absentee father? How will they create that bond? I wonder. Peter Moma, thank you for joining in. And he said, Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Many thanks for the very educative talk. A father is not just a biological father, but anyone who gives that fatherly love to a child. Such fathers need to be celebrated even more. Let's look around and be fathers to the fatherless. I think that's a brilliant conclusion to our show today. And
Please. A few things have been said that needs to be addressed, right? I won't take long. This whole
oh,
sperm donor stuff, right? Listen,
yeah.
when I see mature women talking about sperm donors, I'm just like, are you a
Mm,
sperm receptacle? Are you like a UN for receiving sperms? Like, at some point, women have to take accountability and responsibility. You should
mm,
ask yourself, what kind of man am I going to carry the child for? Right, and that's the thing that we let me ask this rhetorical question. I really don't need. And I'm asking you, AC, and your guest, right?
mhm.
If there is a man in a woman's life with a child, will she be celebrating Father's Day?
If there is,
A man in a woman's life. I did not say father. If there is a man in a woman's life helping her with the different things that need to be helped at home,
mm,
will she be coming on social media talking about she's the father to the child?
she'll be celebrating her father, and some will celebrate the man who the father he's going to be in the next
Right.
couple
So
of
what
years.
you're essentially saying is the majority of these women say that they are fathers as single women
Mm-hmm,
who have given up on themselves. They have given up on love. They've given up on relationship. They've given up on everything. Right.
mm,
Because if they give access to a new man to come in their life, they will not be saying that they are the providers and protectors because there's a man in that life, and that's right now. And adult women, if you're over 30 and you're still talking about sperm donors, like, let's be real, man. Come on. Why are you the one where they're donating the sperms to? Let's be responsible. Let's own our stuff. Are they irresponsible men? They are irresponsible men. Are we gonna fix all the men on earth? We're not. But what we're trying to do is, can we rescue some of those men to come back into the fold and do what they need to do and offer love to their children? Like I said, the most important thing for a father is love. It's not provision. Offer love. So a father cannot be absent, because when you're saying a father is absent, it means that they need to be present and provide. But a father can be in a world apart and offer love, talk to their child, text their child, tell their child, I love you. And that child is happy, right? The child is happy. Do you know there are so many parents that don't like the other parent because the child is communicating behind their backs to the with the parent that they've cut off, be it man or woman? Because a child only seeks love. A child does not seek provision. A child has never told the mom that my dad didn't pay my tuition today. A child has never told anybody that. So, yeah.
Harry,
okay. I think we'll be rounding up. Doctor, 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Harry is coming from that school of thought that heterosexual unions have the monopoly over reproduction. They don't. Heterosexual unions don't have a monopoly over reproduction. That is why some above 30, as you say, they go for sperm donors, not because of choice. There are so many reasons why some of these women do artificial insemination. And I don't want to belittle it by saying that, come on, own up. And then the last thing, I was expecting Trek to actually give a shout out to the Pride community for dedicating one of the days in their month for fatherhood. Because if Trey Katos had his way, this Father's Day would have been taken away from this month. Because according to him, it's coinciding with the Pride Month.
Doctor, which one came first? Which one came first? Which one came first? Pride Month or Father's Day? Which one came first?
just know that
But doctor, which one came first? Pride
month,
Month or doctor, which one came first? Answer the question. Pride Month or Father's Day?
the Pride Month is accommodating the Father's
Doctor, which one came first?
them.
Doctor, which one? Father's Day has been celebrated
Okay.
since
Let's
18.
end the show now. Let's end the show.
I don't care which one came first. All I want to tell you is the Pride Month is accommodating a day reserved for fathers. So just give a shout out to them, guy.
Let's end the show on that note. And we all know that the world is evolving. Things are changing, which is one of the reasons we are here celebrating Father's Day. Whereas in a couple of years back, you wouldn't hear a father talking about Father's Day. There's a day. Many fathers, I bet you it's just this month, or probably many of your friends at Tres Catos knew about Father's Day from your post.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm more than 50% sure that many of your friends knew about Father's Day from you or from social media posts. The world is evolving, things are changing, things are happening. So we should as well be flexible in accommodating things which are changing, as well as us individuals. I am not the same person I was last year, a couple of months ago, same as each and every one of you. 20 years ago, none of us here, well, I don't know about doctor, we didn't have children. So today we have children, and this is an opportunity for our children to celebrate you guys, to honor and appreciate you for being the fathers in their lives. And we want to celebrate all the fathers out there, respective of who you are. If you look at yourself and you think you are a father to your children, we celebrate you. Just a reminder, on this platform, we are non-judgmental. So we celebrate you, dads, you celebrate yourselves, your children celebrate you. Let's give others the chance, the opportunity to celebrate the way they want to be celebrated. We live in an inclusive world, so we should be able to embrace and accept that. Before we end today, Father's Day also should be an opportunity for absentee fathers to reconnect with their children. You don't necessarily have to be with your children or your child's mother to have that bond, to have that love, which Harry has talked so much about. The father love, the love a father has for his children. That's what a father is supposed to do, to love their children. And I believe it is that love that brings in that bond. So let's go out there and celebrate. Maybe Harry, I think you still have a lot. Do you still have time to celebrate the day? And also Dr. Ate. So we wish you all the best for the rest of the day. We want to appreciate all of you for being here with us, watching, listening, contributing. There's been a lot said. From the comments, we can tell how passionate people are. And we also want to plead on you guys, you dads, you fathers, to celebrate yourselves. We know that in the past, it's not a man's thing to celebrate himself, but celebrate celebrate yourself, because you are unique. You are just you. As a father, there are no two fathers. You may have taken care of another child for several years, but the thing is, do not get offended when that child gets up one day and still chooses to do things for his or her biological father. So you out there, do not get offended when that doesn't happen, because we all know that nobody replaces somebody's father.
Thank you.
So it's been a pleasure having you guys here. I've been AC, your host, and I'll always be your host here at the Voice of Hope Media. We do have others as well who host occasionally. Here at the Voice of Hope Media, we give a voice to those issues, to those societal issues often regarded as too emotional, too sensitive, and all taboo, where people don't feel comfortable talking about them. But we give that voice, we give people the opportunity to open up to these conversations and give them a voice. It's been AC, your host, and thank you. See you again next week. Bye for now.
Daddies, them say we don't know how to marry, we just they worry. Daddies, them say all we do is to run away from the babies. Daddies, every day we do this and